Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
How do you start doing stand-up? And when, and...
Well, it's funny. When I was 18, I walked by Boston Comedy Club.
Oh,
and
I love that club.
Saw a number, and I called it, and I go, I want to do stand-up. And the guy goes, you got a show in 2 weeks, kid. You got to bring 8 people?
Right,
and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to be a star.
Right.
So, I wrote like a little thing, and my friends came, and it went really well. And the guy
That was
like,
18? You were 18?
Yeah. And the guy goes, that was great. Come, you got another show in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to be the biggest star. And he calls me on my dorm room telephone. He's like, you could be doing a show and Dave Chappelle walks in, likes you, and he takes you on the road.
Right.
Dom Irrera is going to be here, this, that, the other. And I'm like, oh my God. So I do like 2 bringers, and then he has me host a show at the old Improv.
Mm-hmm.
And then I end up getting asked to host another show. So this is like my 4th show. And
Wait,
I'm like,
what year is this?
It's like 2004.
Wow.
I was 19.
Wait, where was the Improv? It was gone
Broadway
already.
Comedy Club.
Oh, right.
When it used to be Improv. And
No, it was never the Improv.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, I've been doing this since 1982, ass.
The
Improv was on 44th and 9th.
Right.
And then it closed.
But they, for a while, Broadway Comedy Club, where it is now, was... It wasn't the improvisation. It was the improv.
Okay, got you.
Right.
All right.
And
telling me about fucking comedy club. All right, yeah, go ahead.
I was right. And so I got asked to like host a show, and I was like, I'm gonna be the
you're gonna be
huge,
right.
And I'm gonna get famous for doing it the least amount of times. I didn't know you were supposed to like go up all the time and fail and everything, because everything I've done so far is
you
like,
did okay?
Like yeah.
Okay.
And so
like, what was your first joke?
Oh my God, they were horrible. I mean, they were like so bad.
What?
So fucking bad. I mean, like I had it. I mean, it was.
I want to do a show of people's first jokes.
I would get excommunicated.
Oh, all right. Tell me.
It was just like, I had a callback about like being at a strip club and like, like how strippers don't like deserve respect, and I like yell out like, "Lick her where she shits from." Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really bad.
Right.
Really like 19-year-old grasping for whatever you think is funny, just like deplorable things.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to be a star, and everyone's going to know that I only did it 4 times, and that's going to be my hook,
Right.
So then I go and I bomb so catastrophically, and I didn't know that this was like a part of what happened.
The process, yeah.
And I was so shook. I stood outside and apologized to everyone when they left, and I never stepped on stage again until 2011.
No way.
Yeah.
So it took you 7 years.
Yeah.
To get
and when I was like drinking and, like I couldn't fall asleep, like shaking and everything. To get myself to calm down, I go, if you were on stage, what would you say?
Right.
That was like my thing. Like I'd write out like these little like acts and everything. And I like always wanted to do it again. And I was living in the halfway house, 2011. It was between getting on stage and a rope. And I decided to go on stage and give it a shot. The Raven Lounge in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
At like 17th and Sansom.
And how'd you do?
Oh no, actually it was open mic at Helium.
Oh, okay.
And then that went well, and someone was like, hey, there's an open mic later tonight, come here. And I was like, okay. And it was really fun and good. And I started going up to Philly every night, leaving my job early. And then I did that. I was in Philly for like a year, and I got a job to save money to move to New York.
Right.
And I moved back into my apartment and room that I lived in before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in the city since 2012.
So, and where do you live now?
Brooklyn.
Oh, that's shocking.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe you live in Brooklyn because you don't seem like the Brooklyn type.
Not at all. Hey.
And you start, when did you start making a living just doing stand-up?
Within the past year.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, because it's hard, and people, so many people are like, oh, well, I'm a comedian, but during the day, it's like, you're a comedian.
Yeah.
The other thing is just for money.
Yeah.
That's who you are. So you ended up, so you passed at which club first in the city?
Man, New York Comedy Club.
I like that place.
Love it. Great.
I forgot to put my veils in. I'm writing a book, and I know.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I have to just focus on that. I haven't been putting in spots.
What's it about?
Well, I feel like I'm jinxing it because I've told people, but it's about freedom of speech.
Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah. America, bitch.
That's right, you fucking cunts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you passed it at New York Comedy Club.
Right.
And did they give you a lot of work or?
No, just like intermittent stuff.
Right.
And then it was like, like a slow process. Yeah. I mean, you know how it is. You get a bunch of work and then you don't get booked for a while and you're like, well, I guess I'm out, and then
it's
you get
always
booked
that.
again. And then, there's so many people that are.
But it's so much different than when it was I never had to do a bringer show.
Mm-hmm.
We performed. I would just go anywhere to get stage time, and we could. You could do several spots a night, even in the very beginning. And people were doing like happy hours. The 80s. It was like the. Okay,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I saw so many great comics. Too.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Dave Attell.
Yes.
Where does he see you first? And you end up going on tour with him, correct?
He's had me open for him. And he saw me at the Cellar.
Uh-huh.
And
Owned by Juice, Baby Comedy Cellar. Yeah.
And New Joke Night.
Mm-hmm.
With Will Sylvan? With Will, yeah.
I want to do that. So what do I do?
It's so great.
Yeah.
Talk to Will.
I know, I already talked to him, but Liz said you have to, it's a Monday and a Thursday?
Yeah, Monday, Thursday. And then
and how much time do you do?
They started, everyone was like 5 minutes, but they started having me hosted. And it was like really fun. And then Attell would come and we would, go back and forth off stage and with Will and him and me. And then Will started including me and then he would start bringing me on stage. And then, he and I would be on stage together. And then he saw me do a set one night at the Cellar and asked me to open for him. And it was really well. It was great. And he's got a bunch of different openers that he takes out,
I love Dave. I was there the first night he ever went on stage.
No way.
Yes, and I've told the story 200 times.
Can I hear it?
There was a place called, sorry listeners, there was a place called Comedy U Grand. It was on 55 Grand Street. We all worked there. Ray, everyone. And the bartender was this guy who was engaged to this woman and he was an actor and the woman was like, ended up breaking up the engagement because her father was like, he's an actor. He's never going to be able to raise a family and make money and, get rid of him. And he is Michael Chiklis. Okay. Anyway, he was the bartender. Wow. And, Ray used to come in with Anna. He was delivering futons during the day. And then Anna would be, I remember her standing in the back going, seriously, how is he going to make a living doing this? I'm like, oh my God. And then I just recently saw her and I was like, oh, nice house. Anyway, Dave came in. I think I was emceeing. I'm very pro MC. And when I started, the MC was the star of the show.
Yeah.
And it's disintegrated now. And I don't like that because it's the most important, job. But
I MC.
It makes you a better comic because you can isolate your bits and you get more stage time than anyone else.
Yes, you have
know how to bring an audience,
in between.
Right.
Yep.
You know how to bring an audience up, calm them down. It's the greatest learning.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and who told me just recently at the Village Underground, we're like, why don't you ever MC? I'm like, oh my God, I spent years MCing. And I just don't want to be there all fucking night. Anyway.
Yeah, it is a slog.
Yeah. So Dave came in, I was emceeing, and he was a student at NYU.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in and did a set. And I remember one of his jokes was like that every girl is so skinny now and they all have anorexia. The other day, this is my version of what he said. The other day I walked by the Macy's windows and one of the mannequins was sticking her finger down her throat. And I thought, that this guy's fucking hilarious. And he gets off and I said, you're so fucking funny. He's like, no, I'm not. I suck. And I was like, oh my God, you're so funny. But that I do remember. Yeah. He's hilarious. So great. Yeah, he was so funny. But that's so great that you got to, did you learn a lot from him?
Oh my God. I mean, it's like pinching myself. I mean, even just like watching everyone is so insane.
Right.
Being able to just.
Who are your biggest influences, do you think?
In comedy?
Besides Nikki Glaser.
Judy Gold.
Yeah. All guys. All right. I'm going to say this after you do your list.
No, let me hear it.
No, go.
Let me hear it.
No.
Biggest influences? Man, I would say.
Who did you watch and were like, oh, this person's fucking hilarious?
I mean, Attell, Chappelle, Rock.
Oh,
no. Pryor, Patton Oswalt, Bill Hicks.
Loved him. He was a great guy.
I really loved Paula Poundstone.
Yes.
My first comedy tapes ever, my mom got me at Sears when I was younger, were Tim Allen, Drew Carey, and Paula Poundstone.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to accuse you of never not mentioning a woman, and yet you did.
Yeah. And also I loved watching Ellen when I was younger.
Right.
She had such a funny bit about Vaseline.
Right.
And like trying to lip sync songs.
Right.
And she can't say it, so she just goes, Vaseline.
Right.
Yeah. Is that what you were going to say about guys?
Most guys just list guys.
Right.
Which I find sad.
Mm. I also obsessively watched Grace Under Fire when I was young.
With Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, not Jewish, but married a Jew, and I was the maid of honor at the wedding.
No way.
Yes!
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She asked me that morning. She's like, will you be married tomorrow?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That show, oh my God. I wasn't allowed to watch Roseanne when I was little. Because it was like I wasn't allowed to watch Roseanne edgy. Or The Simpsons. Yeah.
You know, I, in the process of writing my book, I'm talking right now about how I never censored anything for my kids because I wanted them to know what funny is. And it got to the point where we'd be watching something and I'd laugh and then they'd be like, wait, is that funny because blank? And they really understand comedy. But all the parents were like, can you not put on South Park when the kids are there? And I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen to that? It's like you live in New York City, like every day they walk home and hear, you fucking motherfucker, you know, I just, whatever. And then one kid, didn't want me to play the Wizard of Oz because he was scared of the wizard. I'm like, I can't. Like, what are you protecting them from?
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
8 years in, you're doing really well. And I just am warning you right now, ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Ebbs and flows.
I appreciate you saying that.
And a lot of people don't realize it's all cyclical. And we were talking before about needing a life.
Yeah.
And you have to have a life because when there are times where you're just stuck, which you will be, you want to be able to focus on something else, you know? And it's also about reinventing yourself over and over and doing other things, like not just stand up, you know, writing something, writing for a show, you know, I don't know. That's what I wish I could have told my younger self, you know, that, and I'm so glad I have kids and everything, but it is really important to have a life because I see so many people just miserable and lonely because all their focus is on themselves and their career.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the way it's been for a bit,
and that's fine.
It's fine at times, but at other times it's massively lonely and very low, and
you're putting your entire. I've learned putting your self-esteem into what some booker thinks of you or what show you don't get on. It's like fuck you, and half the time it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
It's like, oh, he reminds me of an ex-boyfriend, and I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's such a good point. And I do little things like I love riding my bike.
Right.
I really got into shooting pool, even though I'm not.
Oh, that's good.
It's like a very meditative thing to do. And I was going to go bird watching a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome. My friend Bob was a bird watcher.
Bailing on it. But I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. And it's difficult sometimes, But
do you read a lot?
I do, yeah.
See, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Do you do this where you start reading a book and you're like, I got to get 4 more books?
I know. You should go look in my bedroom and my fucking living room.
Me too. I have stacks of books.
Yes. And it's like, oh, I started that. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I got to read. It's horrible.
I have 2 different books in my jacket that I
carried them. And then I got a Kindle because I was like, I can't carry all these books. It's so fucking heavy. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What do you do outside of comedy, for your life outside of comedy, aside from family?
Okay. Well, family.
Right.
I work out. I love working out. I love playing outside. I play tennis.
I love tennis.
Tennis is the fucking best. And it's such an in-your-head game.
So fun.
Right. I used to run, but I can't because I have a fake knee now and I had knee replacement. But a lot of it is physical activity. Mm-hmm. I love music. I love going to hear music. I love theater. I love the theater. I teach a class every Thursday. I teach people how to write one-person shows.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
At the Einhorn School of Performing Arts, part of Primary Stages.
Oh.
And you gotta fill your life with shit. Plus it makes you a better comic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because then you see these people who get really famous and then start believing the bullshit. And people go to see them and like, oh, that person's not funny anymore. Yeah, because they're not living in the real fucking world, All right. So I ask my guests 2 questions.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, you're on the Nikki thing.
Yes.
And then you have your own podcast too, right?
I do. Yes.
That I haven't been asked on, right?
Yes. Well, come on it. Well, I just started a new podcast.
What is it?
It's called Sex in the City. I've never seen an episode of Sex in the City.
Oh, all right.
My buddy's seen every single one.
Oh, okay.
And we're rewatching it together.
Oh, I'm in one.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Can you come on?
Yeah, totally.
That would be amazing. We haven't released any episodes. We've recorded 5 and we're in the process of
and you know that Michael Patrick King is an old friend of mine who he used to do stand-up at the Improv. Oh my God, we used to have so much fun. I know.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm watching the show for the first time, and I've always kind of been against it.
Right.
I think it's some latent misogyny of every girl thinks life's brunch and cocktails and
Right.
And I am loving it.
And it's sort of like for gay guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it taps into that half part of me.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Have you ever had a gay relationship?
Secretly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For how long?
It was just purely physical.
Right.
No emotion. Very damaging in terms of intimate relation, but from 11 to 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I could have. I've had relationships with women, but I don't know if I could have a relationship with a man.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, you haven't met anyone.
I had started hanging out with this one guy, and I got scared and stopped talking to him. And all my interactions with men have just been purely physical. Right. There's no hanging.
Well,
out
oh my God, you got to read
term.
this article that I just read yesterday about this guy, a neighbor. This guy's married, 2 kids, church going, and he had an affair with his next door neighbor, this other guy, for many, many years. And finally the guy moved away, and they ended up, and they would only, it's interesting because they say in they will only, some people who are on the down low gay, you know, if they know their husband is bi or gay, whatever, they're like, as long as you don't kiss them. And that's because kissing is so intimate.
Yes.
Right. And and so first for the beginning, they no kissing.
Right.
And then they ended up kissing and he realized, oh, fuck. And anyway, he ends up getting a divorce. They don't talk to each other for years, the two guys. And they're in the middle of a divorce. And the wife calls him and says, how long were you with my husband? I know that, you know.
Oh, my God.
And he didn't answer because he thought it was the husband's job to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very big thing. And people who don't want to.
That was my entire life.
Yeah.
Just two teen boys blowing each other, and then me wanting to kiss, and then be like, "Oh, well, I'm not fucking gay. Now put your little boy mouth on my boy penis."
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's such homophobia. It's so
truly
awful.
is. It truly is.
And you know, my generation, I've talked about this a lot. Most of us, not all of us, there are some. It's called Gold Star. If you've never had sex with the opposite sex, you're a Gold Star lesbian or a Gold Star gay guy, but. Like all of us did have sex because we were like, no, this is horrible. I can't be gay. My whole life, you know.
Right.
And I felt like I was being molested. Like it was so unnatural for me.
Sex with men.
Yes. Right. Completely unnatural. Like wrong. And then with a woman, I was like,
right.
Do you want me to do that again? Go ahead.
Yes. Oh my God. I wish this was on tape.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
You might be a little late. Well, the Catholicism is not going to help you in that area.
Right. Well, it was a whole thing of, well, my dad is watching me.
Right. Oh, of course.
He doesn't want to see me doing these things.
I know. I hate that.
But this motherfucker loved me with his whole being. Of course he would be okay with that.
This other guy, the guy with the...
Yeah.
And what's he doing now?
Married kid, you know. Church.
Do you think that if his kids were gay, he'd be really pissed off?
I don't know. I think for him, it might have been just like a thing that he was exploring. But for me, I've explored with so many different.
No, I don't. I don't
to like do like
Right.
The
I
test,
don't think so. I don't think that.
But it was. I mean, the Catholicism really fucked me up.
Yeah.
In terms of even just like I used to jerk off and pray at the same time because I was thinking I was like evil. I was going to go to hell. And to couple that with going against a grain of like being with a man.
Right.
Like, holy
shit. It's like you have death. You have, this horrible sin of homosexuality plus masturbate. I mean, like it's horrible in the Catholic Church and your father's watching. I mean, it's awful.
But again, like I can't really reiterate enough, like knowing who he is and everything, like it's, I was the one that put myself in that hell. Right. This guy would have loved me no matter what.
Please.
My mom loves me no matter what. People in my life.
Does she know about the gay?
That I'm like half bi. Yeah. And that has increased our relationship so much more.
You're so cute. You could totally get a hot boyfriend.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But
we're
my kids are so straight, now. And I'm so mad. I'm like,
really?
Yeah, I'm always like, can't you just be a little gay? It's like so annoying.
I'll be your dad.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I could be your mother.
That's perfect.
Oh God, I'm so old. All right, so we ask our guests.
How old are you?
56.
Really?
Yeah.
You look so young.
I love you.
Ian, so fucking young. Ian.
Truly. Really?
Yeah,
and I have had nothing done.
Really?
Yes.
What the fuck?
I know my mother had really good skin. Plus,
Holy
I'm so
shit.
immature.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a child.
Yeah. I mean, you look fucking young.
I do?
You really do.
Yes!
You do not
Who's
look
my
56.
favorite guest?
Yeah.
Woo!
No bullshit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
56.
Wow.
Started doing stand-up at 19. And
wow. And you stuck with it. You didn't bomb and quit.
Oh, I bombed plenty of times. I just loved it so much.
Yeah. It's the best.
It's the greatest.
It truly is.
We have something in common.
What?
Coffee.
Yes. Love it. How do you know all this stuff?
I do my research, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Coffee, huge. I'm like a huge... How do you drink it?
Chemex.
Chemex?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's that glass kind of almost like open-ended hourglass that you put the filter in, and then you put
the thing, and you have to do it round.
A little water.
Yeah, I like that pour over thing.
Yeah, pour over.
Okay, and then
what's your bean? What bean do you like?
I just bought these beans in Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh,
Bolt Coffee. At Bolt. I can't even. So fucking good.
Really?
I enjoy a Sumatra.
Sumatra's all right.
Yeah. I really like strong, dark coffee with low acidity.
See, I've been going light so I can get more energy.
Yeah, because it's more caffeine.
Yeah. But
people think that, it's like the darker the bean, the less caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
drink a lot. I drink like 5 cups a day.
Me too. Yeah. I had to cut down my stomach. But
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, and do you put anything in it?
Milk. You're straight black.
Black.
Wow.
African American.
Yes.
Yeah, just black. And my parents drank so much coffee and black.
Really?
Yeah, my father would get up really early, like 4:30 to go to work, whatever. And he would make they had a percolator where it came up.
Yeah,
you could see it in the lid. And he'd make a full pot and be gone.
My grandfather used to put a raw egg in his coffee.
Ew!
Yeah.
The drunk one?
No. On my mom's side.
Wow, that's really disgusting.
Tried to help raise me and everything.
Oh,
great fella.
You're so cute.
This week's episode of It's Judy's Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
All right, so these are the 2 questions we asked.
Let's do
I have, I'm very pro mental health on this podcast. No stigma. I suffer from very bad ADHD.
Yeah, me
as
too.
do you.
Yes.
And I've had one terrible clinical depression, but I have terrible anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I've wasted a lot of my life being anxious. That's another thing. Like sitting in a chair, pulling the skin off my fingers and, feeling like a fucking horrible.
I can really relate to
that. If I could go back and get that time back of being anxious and horrible. So I take a cocktail of medication. We're very into meds and so for our fellow sufferers.
Yes.
Have you ever taken any meds?
Baby, I'm the med king.
No, me too. All right, go ahead, go.
Well,
what do you want now?
I just had this massive realization that I've been on and off meds my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Since I was 7.
Wow.
My parents had me see a doctor because I was so bad with ADHD.
Right.
And the doctor gave me a medicine and it knocked me out. My dad flushed it out in the toilet. And I was
What
I'd rather my son
be
off the walls
Yeah.
than this is not my son.
Right.
And then he died and my mom was like, medicine time, you know?
So,
I've been on everything on and off,
Yeah.
which really kind of fucked me up for a while, but consistently, I've been on Lamictal.
oh, I had Lamictal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Lamictal,
Right.
Zoloft, gabapentin.
Oh, Zoloft made me puke.
No? Yeah?
I've been on everything.
Yeah.
So now my cocktail, it's the only thing that works, is fucking Paxil, which is, they say Paxon. I've gained 25, 30 pounds from the
Really?
fucking Paxil. Yes, and the doctor's like, you have to lose that weight. I'm like, fuck.
Paxil knocked me the fuck out.
Really? Love
Yeah.
it. So good for OCD. All right. I'm on a low dose. And then I take Wellbutrin
Mhm.
so I can have an orgasm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
'Cause-
Zoloft, it's,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I know.
It's like-
That's the worst feeling when you're in the middle of it and you're like, oh my God.
I can't do this.
isn't going to happen.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there with,
Fuck.
yeah.
And it's like, wait. All right. And then, wait, what else? I take Trazodone to sleep.
Wow. You do the Trazodone shuffle.
Yeah.
Huh? Can't do
because
that.
I can fall asleep, but I can't stay asleep.
Yeah.
But I've lowered that a bit.
You don't feel the effect the next day?
No.
No. Next day, I'm a zombie.
Yeah,
on
Elisa, my
Trazodone.
girlfriend, says that.
Yeah.
You know who told me to go on Trazodone? Joy Behar. Judy, you have to go on Trazodone. All right, so, and then I take Deplin, which is like this folic acid, like a very
Never
high
heard of
dose, and it
Deplin.
helps your brain work better. But I
Interesting.
meditate. Do you meditate?
I am trying.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'll meditate with you
That'd be great.
because you got to do it with someone,
Yeah.
but also it's so hard to learn, especially when you have ADD,
Yes.
and it just takes practice.
I've had so many people say, you gotta meditate, you
Yeah.
gotta, and then, you know, I
I'll
tried to do
get-
Krishna and
No,
really-
I bought a bunch of CDs when when they were popular,
Right,
ladies and
right.
gentlemen.
I need to go to a
of
public library. and
How
listen
to
them.
and it taught me how to meditate.
Yeah.
And it's I just gave it to someone as a gift.
Oh,
You
wow.
can get it on Amazon, and it really teaches you
Yeah.
because it's so helpful.
I need some. I'm reading this book called Against the Stream about Dharma punks. You
Right.
ever heard of Dharma punks?
No,
It's like an introduction into Buddhist meditation.
yeah.
And this guy lived like a horrible, reckless life, but he was really into like punk rock. So he's kind of combined like the ethos of punk rock and Buddhism into one.
Right.
And there are meditation places of Dharma punks in the city. I haven't gone yet.
Oh,
but
that's
I've
cool.
had it suggested
Are
to
you
me.
into
I'm trying
punk?
I am, yeah. So I'm trying to read this book, and even reading is difficult.
Oh, it's so
You
hard. It
know,
was hard.
You read 5 lines.
Let me
stop,
tell you
know.
something. Now that I've been diagnosed, I realize I never could read growing up. Like they'd be like reading time for 25 minutes. I'd
It's
sit on
so
the
tough.
mat,
especially
and
with the fucking phone.
yeah,
Jesus
no
Christ.
phone.
I
No
hate
phone.
the phone.
I hate it too.
That is
That's killing-
huge
yeah,
with
yeah.
mental illness. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
fuck the phone. But
hate it.
I used to just look around at the kids and be like, oh, I wonder what's going on in their head.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then I just tweeted something the other day because I realized, I work out a lot
Uh-huh.
and I hate stretching. For me is unbearable.
It's the
unbearable.
worst.
And I said, seriously, did any of my ADD sufferers find it unbearable to stretch? And they're like, oh my God, yes. I didn't realize that was what it was. But it's like, it's so hard to just, okay, now I have to take this time
Yeah.
to stretch out my muscles.
Or
and-
I'll stretch and I'll do the count. I'll go 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
yeah,
5. 1,
yeah.
2, 3.
okay,
4,
I'm done.
you know?
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
It's horrible. Final question is,
I have a
let
question.
go.
The
Yes.
Wellbutrin, does that make you sweat?
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. They gave it to me to stop smoking, and I was just sweating so much. I was like, I
Yeah,
gotta
it started
get off
out as a
this.
smoking cessation drug, and
Yeah.
then they realized, it improves the mood.
Mm.
I also
Sorry.
take Ritalin
Do you?
because of the book, and then I'll get off.
I need to take Adderall, but
Yeah.
I can't be prescribed it because it's, addictive.
What isn't addictive?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right. So this, the podcast name is Kill Me Now.
Yes.
So I ask all my guests what pisses them off the most, and it could be anything, like anything, any little thing, like that
Uh-huh.
makes you fucking crazy.
Oh, man.
Because I get so fucking mad.
I have a lot.
Okay, go.
Man, just today, fucking The way people drive in this city.
Oh, it's horrible.
Holy shit. As somebody that has to share the road and my life is on the line when I'm on a bicycle, I try to be kind and understanding and like, you know, you have to be so centered. If you're thinking about anything else, you could fucking die. But these motherfuckers are driving around. They're making illegal left turns.
Oh, they don't care. What about when they open the door and you're like, they don't even look? I always stay in the bike lane because I have kids. And I wear a helmet. Do you wear a helmet?
I've started to, yeah.
Okay.
But I cut my hair short, so it doesn't matter. But when I have my longer hair, I'm so vain. I'm like, well, I'd rather
I know. I wouldn't.
Mess my hair up, you know.
I'd take a cap because I was like, oh, if I put the baseball cap, the helmet, what the fuck is it called? The bike helmet on, I would,
Yeah, that's it down. And,
I have a really good helmet that lights up.
Really?
And I wanted them to advertise on my podcast. It's called Loomis Helmet. Loomis, Lumos. You have a little controller on your bike. When you're making a right turn, it flashes. Oh, wow. When you're making a left turn, it flashes. When you're stopping, it has stoplights. It's fucking the best.
Yeah.
And it's Bluetooth and connect it to your fucking phone. All right, what else pisses you off? It is hard being a bike.
It is. And I see, this is, maybe I'm wrong, but I go into traffic in between cars. I shave my handlebars down so I can get in between tight spaces. Oh my
God.
Yeah, I love it. I don't drink or do drugs anymore, so I need something to but you can't.
I don't want you dead.
In a line of fire. I know.
Have you ever been in a bike accident?
I have, yeah.
In the city?
Yeah.
Where?
First in A.
What happened?
Or house in an A.
What happened? Did you go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Your poor mother.
It fucked me up psychologically. Well, I didn't tell her for a while. See, that's the thing with you know, the overbearing.
Right.
I have to go through things and then tell her when I come out on the other side.
Yes.
She can't know about it when it's going on, or else it'll just be crazy. You know. So I recovered from that, and then by the way, you know, I got hit by this.
What happened?
It was the I don't. Have you ever gotten hit?
Yeah, I got hit at 16.
Oh, wow.
On my way to driver's ed. Riding my bike. This woman hits me. I may have smoked a little bit. Anyway, no, this woman hits me and I go flying. I had 15 stitches in my head. It was almost at my brain. I think I hit either a rock went in there or I hit her. I think I hit her hood ornament.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. This car is making a right turn and I was making a left turn I was making a U-turn. Right. And the light hadn't cut yet. It was just about to, so they started to go. And when I went, it was a walking sign in the crosswalk. So I took that as I can go and make that turn. And we just collided and I leaned into it. So I rolled off the hood. If I leaned away from it, I would have gotten sucked under. So I was really fortunate. The car wasn't going that fast. It was just going from stop to
what
start
did you hurt?
In the right hand. My shoulder, and it fucked my shoulder up for a while. And
who was driving?
It was a cab.
Oh, shocking!
Yeah.
Were they sorry? Or assholes?
This woman on the street was like, I saw it all. You gonna get paid today, honey? I was like, you gotta stop. Yeah. And it was. I mean, getting hit is such.
Did you get any money?
Really lucky. Yeah. I mean, it worked out. You know.
Oh,
nice. I really lucked. It could have been a lot worse. But that night I rode the same route home when I got out of the hospital.
You're an asshole.
To prove to myself that I could psychologically get over it. But then it fucked me up in the head for a while. I mean, I was very skittish.
Yeah, when I'd say I got hit from the back in a car and I was like, I'm always looking in the fucking rearview mirror every time I fucking drive. Yeah. Now.
We just got really ramped up.
I know. I fucking hate people.
I think we're going to end the podcast. It was so nice. And now we're like, motherfucker.
Fucking assholes. All right. Where can people find you, Ian?
Oh, man. You can find me on Instagram, iAnimal, IANIMAL. Ian Fidance on Twitter, ianfidance.com. And check my podcast out, Sex Ian the City.
But you haven't posted it yet, you said.
We have a couple posts.
Oh, all right.
It's up on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play, but we haven't made like a big release. We're soft releasing.
I love it.
Yeah. That would be so
I'll totally come on. Where do you record?
Stand Up New York Labs.
Oh, that's good. That's right in my neighborhood.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks you so much.
Ian.
This was
my
such
God,
a
so
pleasure.
fun.
Such an honor. I love you so much.
I love you.
You're the best.
Fidance. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be at the Fairfield Theater in Fairfield, Connecticut on April 5th. That's April 5th, you motherfuckers. April fucking 5th. And I need people to be there. Okay. And then, Passover's coming up, but whatever. You don't care because you're early. You can go to 1/5 of the Seder.
Yes. I go for a couple hours and I leave.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ian Fidance.
Thank you so much.
And as
Judy
we
Gold.
always say, so long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.